interesting. Very, very interesting. So, 5 wants to have a little bit of a chess match with 9 and 12. Now, right now, this is a very interesting way to handle a bomb situation. It really is. I mean, if you think about this, okay? When have we ever seen a bomb situation where a bomb is about to explode or go off through a chess match? And I hope I'm not the only one that got that Nier vibe when you saw 5 just move that chess piece. I mean, that reminds me so much of Nier. I mentioned it in my last review, and I will mention it again. Freaking 5 reminds me so much of Nier. Really, it's absolutely insane. The character design with the head, like the head with the hair, I mean, it looks just like Nier. Now, I want to mention something that I failed to mention last week. I really didn't notice it until a bunch of Chibits pointed it out. Okay, we have this new character 5. She just got introduced last episode. Now, the 5th episode aired last week, okay? And 5 was introduced on the 5th episode. Yeah, being equal fucking blown. I mean, that really is a mind blow if you look at that, because, I mean, the character 5 was introduced on episode 5. And right here, this goes to bring up something very, very important that I've noticed from this series. A couple of people have told me that this series has a little bit of references to dates. Like, if I'm correct, someone told me that one of the dates that this series is going to actually air on is going to be 9/11. Yeah. That's what I've told. Supposedly, this series is going to air on that date this year, so that's pretty fucked up. I mean, it really is fucked up how they're using real dates and different things like that with this series, the way it airs. They're doing different references, like some people, some Chibits, have actually pointed out in the title, like there's certain scenes in the title of the episode that actually have, like, red symbols on them, and if you put them together, it makes a sentence. So, that's very weird. I'm gonna have to look more into that, but there's a lot of Chibits that's just going around fury crafting with all the stuff that's going down, and I find it very intelligent how so many of you are really just going deep into this freaking series and trying to just find any ounce of details in the series. And you know what? I want to clap for all of you Chibis. That's fucking insane, because the amount of intelligence and brain power you have to use to find these different references and stuff are really freaking cool. I mean, my IQ jumped up after reading some of those comments everybody was mentioning. So besides that, getting back onto the review of this episode of Zankyou no Terror, I love it. I love how they really show that 5 is going to be technically the main villain. Now, I see how a lot of people can kind of be upset with the development of this episode, because you have 9 and 12 that started off as terrorists. They start off as terrorists, they have plutonium, they're making bombs, they're blowing up buildings, and technically we don't know 100% their motive yet, but we do know that they are not wanting to kill people. They're not wanting to kill people at all, because they're going out of their way to try to find this bomb that 5 is set up to deactivate it for no innocent civilians get hurt. And so right here it shows you that our characters that I thought were anti-heroes, that, you know, pretty much were evil most likely, are saving people. They're not really trying to kill people. I mean, they could still kind of be considered anti-heroes, but they're not in the sense as Kiro was, where he was just killing people off. So, we have that right now going on, which is very intriguing, because it really just changes your perspective on 9 and 12, but this element could probably upset quite a few watchers of this series, because I bet they were expecting 9 and 12 to kill people, and sadly enough, they're not. So, I'm honestly fine that 9 and 12 are actually not trying to kill people. I think their main goal is to set up a point. They're having a motive with a point. They're blowing up stuff, doing a major objective of hunting down these certain people in the organizations, and that's all they're doing. They're not really trying to kill people through proving themselves. They're trying to prove themselves through other different reasons. Now, besides that, okay, the biggest thing here with this episode that you really have to be fearful of is 5. 5 as a character really is terrifying in this episode. I mean, we got to see a glimpse of how terrifying 5 was, but we also get to see more stuff that makes 5 terrifying. 5 is working in the FBI, which is revealed completely in this episode, okay? And the thing is, we don't know how far up 5 is, but I mean, she's being able to control the superintendent of Japan, of the police force. That is fucking insane. That is really insane. So we have to think about this real quick for a second, okay? If 5 is in that position where she can control the entire police force, control the superintendent, and at the exact same time control telephone communications to where she can send everybody a single message to every single phone in Japan, that is ridiculous. Because right at this moment, it seems like 5 is trying to set up 9 and 12 as killers, murderers. That's exactly what we've been seeing for these past 2 episodes, and why is 5 doing this? Why is 5 wanting to set them up? I mean, of course from this we find out they want to finish their chess match, but I mean, what grudge does 5 have against 9 and 12? I mean, we get to see multiple flashbacks of where you see 9 and 12 going over a fence, but you see, 5 behind them, looks like she's getting burnt or something or being left behind, but I mean, she had a chance to make it, so we don't really know the grudge at the moment. But there's another thing that actually was mentioned by a couple of Chibits I do want to bring up. Okay, so since this series has been going through the number scheme, like, introducing 5's character on episode 5 and different things like that, I find it interesting how they're named numbers, okay? So now, it's not just 9 and 12 that were named numbers. We find out 5 is named a number. And now, here's the big question about this, okay? Does the names mean intelligence? For instance, like 9 and 12, okay? They're very intelligent, they're very smart characters, and so is Shibazaki, okay? But 5, as an entirely different character, is really fucking intelligent. Like, I mean, being able to control the FBI and stuff like that, that's intelligent. We get to see how we see her hacker skills in this episode, how she gets on the keyboard, and she's looking around all the cameras and stuff. I mean, that was ridiculous. So what it shows here is that 5 must have a higher intelligence than 9 and 12, and the main concept to go with correlation with the name, I think the names of them, like the numbers, are actually their intelligence level, or how good they are in the ranking system. Because we know they were in a concentration camp for some reason. Experiments, whatever. But were they put in those number-specific orders because of their intelligence, or their use, or their, how valuable they are? I don't know. But if there is a 5, there has to be a 4, 3, 2, 1. Most likely, we're not going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, because, I mean, they've already passed the numbers of those episodes. So, I'm willing to bet if they want to be fucked up, they might, introduce a character on episode 9 or 11, to 12, since it's the actual characters' names of our 2 main characters. So, it'd be really crazy if they do something like that, because that'd be very controversial, and it would definitely shock a lot of the people of this series. Now, I love the animation of this episode. The animation is solid, good. I love the grittiness of it because it definitely adds to the contrast and the themes and colors of this series. And I personally believe that Shibazaki is going to realize that 9 and 12 are technically innocent. I mean, they're not innocent to the entire thought of putting up fucking bombs and stealing plutonium, but I mean, I think Shibazaki is going to realize the different connections between 9 and 12 and 5, because, I mean, you could clearly see in this episode he thinks something is off. Like, it's not the same person. Sphinx is not making these videos or these messages, and he thinks something is off, so he goes with his police force to go find out information. So, most likely, next episode, what I see going down is that Shibazaki and his crew are going to go to the place where the bomb is. They're going to realize the bomb squad is not there, and they're going to realize that 9 and 12 is there trying to find the bomb, and then they might find the connection between 5 and them. So, I think something like that will go down, because, I mean, like I said in my last review, we have 3 parties working in the background right now. We have the FBI and 5, we have the police force of Japan, and now we have 9 and 12. So, I mean, what is going to happen? It's like a 3-way war right now, and it seems like 5 can really enter the heads of 9 and 12. And the interesting part about this, honestly, is why hasn't, 9 and 12 been arrested yet? Because, I mean, clearly, from this, okay, 5 knows what they look like. They have camera footage and everything. So how is 9 and 12 going to get out of this? How are they going to get out from being captured, caught, arrested, whatever, since they technically have camera footage? 5 confirmed who it was. They have proof. I mean, why are they not arrested yet? That's another thing we have to bring up. I mean, what's the FBI's real goal? That's one thing we have to mention. Maybe the reason why they haven't arrested them yet is because they want to get the plutonium. That could possibly be it, because we do find out this episode that the FBI was invested in the plutonium, so we don't know exactly what they were really trying to do. So tell me your thoughts about this episode of Zankyou no Terror. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? What did you feel about my theories? What did you feel about the Chibits theories? Because everybody pitched in these theories I brought up this episode review. So tell me your thoughts. Thank you, Chibits, for giving me this information. I love all of you so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.